welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're going to be looking at the process for changing the transfer case fluid on a four-wheel drive Saab 97X. This process will be similar to a Chevy Trailblazer and GMC Envoy and other similar vehicles. To get started, we're going to want a pair of safety glasses to protect our eyeballs. We're under the car and we got some fluids going on. The next important tool is going to be a 10mm hex head socket. 1/2 or 3/8 drive is fine, as well as a short stubby extension that we'll use to be able to get around a couple of obstructions. We also want a ratchet that's compatible with either the 3/8 or the 1/2 inch drive. I think a flex head is ideal for this job. This helps get around the obstructions and makes it easier getting fluids and keeping your hands out of the way. And then because we're under the vehicle, a flashlight might be useful for being able to see exactly what we're doing. And then as far as our hands, you may want to be able to get some rubber gloves to protect your hands just to keep them nice and clean and tidy, especially if your skin is sensitive. And then a shop towel or two just to make sure everything's all nice and clean and tidy with the fluids that we're opening up.
To get started on the job, we're going to go in from the driver's side of the vehicle already up on jack stands. I understand on some of the larger Chevy trucks you don't have to do this, but for the GMT360 platform, unless you've got just the right set of a curb on your property, you probably need to jack up one of the two ends so we'll get underneath to access the transfer case. And so now let's go under the vehicle. This is going to be basically right underneath the driver's seat. And now that we're under the vehicle, we've got the transfer case is this aluminum looking unit right here. There's a plug right down here. That's our drain plug. Plug up top here is our fill plug. And so the order of operations here is we wanted to actually pull out the fill plug first, and then we'll do our drain plug with our drain pan in place to go catch it. So we're going to use our 10mm socket, or 10mm hex socket. Alright, we're just going to leave that sitting in there. And now the next one is to get this one right here, which is our drain plug, with our pan ready. And so now for the drain plug, we do have a clearance issue here that we need to be able to deal with. So a short extension is going to be useful for being able to get that cleared. You're ready with your catch pan. So in a moment, this is going to drain out. And make sure your catch pan is properly aligned to the fill hole here. The correct fluid for the job is this Auto Trak II from AC Delco. Now the fluid that you just saw came out was a red color. So last time I did this job, I put in a Valvoline transfer case fluid. But this time I thought I'd go ahead and get the actual official AC Delco fluid. I ordered this online from Amazon, much cheaper than going to my local GM dealer to get a couple bottles of this. And so let's take a look at this because there is something kind of special about this Auto Trak II fluid. And so I've got a clear plastic cup here. I'll pour just a little in the cup here for you guys to see. And if you could see that, that was actually a blue color. Let's hold this up. If you tilt this, you can see there's a blue hue to the Auto Trak II fluid. The Valvoline and the other ones are just a regular red that looks like a transmission fluid. And so the point of this is that the next time you do a transfer case service, you can double check to see that your fluid coming out is blue and it's not red, or it's black, because if it comes out red, that means you got transmission fluid that leaked into it. However, in my case, since I did it with the red fluid last time, there's still the possibility of red fluid still being in there, so I can't say with any certainty, but I just want to make sure I showed you what the Auto Trak II fluid actually looks like with that very distinctive blue color. So to put that into the vehicle, we're going to use one of these pump mechanisms. Looks kind of like a soap pump. This will just go straight into the bottle, and we'll pump it up into our fill hole after we close off our drain plug. And so then that pump we'll just simply screw on to the top of our bottle, just like this. And we can just pump it right in. And we're going to need about 2 quarts of this fluid. So now we're going to go back under the vehicle, reinstall the drain plug, and then pull the fill plug out and start pumping it in with fluid. And we're going to fill it up until there's fluid coming out about even with the top of that fill plug. Now I've got the drain plug all sealed up, my fill plug removed. Now it's time to pump in the Auto Trak II fluid into our transfer case. Depending upon how many hands you've got will affect how easy this job is to do for you. You can see that blue color going into the case. So now you just got to pump it in just like you're pumping up soap in the bathroom.
Once you think you've got the transfer case full of your Auto Trak II fluid, you can use your fingertip in the hole to be able to check to see if it is to the proper level. It should be right about even to the top of the hole. Now, unfortunately, the sight lines here are not great, especially compared to, say, the front differential where you can see in there just straight through with your eyeball. And so your fingertip might be useful just to stick that in and to see if it comes up a little bit moist. If it does, you're good to go. Otherwise, you need to add some more fluid. Now you can see my hand starting the fill plug cap there. So much you don't cross-thread that. That'd be rather annoying to have to deal with a cross-threaded cap. Just simple, easy to do with that. And then we'll come back and tighten that up. As far as a torque spec on this, think of this just like reinstalling the plug on your oil drain pan after doing an oil change. You want to get it nice and firm and snug. That's about all. You don't want to over-tighten it or risk stripping the threads out or damaging it. I'm not sure you really need thread locker here. And obviously, I'm not being some crazy person about torque on this. Just get it nice and firm and snug, and that's all you need. And you're good to go. Check on the fill plug the drain plug as well. Make sure everything's all good and tight before you put the vehicle back into service. Overall, this is a very quick and simple operation. It takes maybe 20 to 25 minutes to do, with most of the time spent actually pumping the fluid into the car, and that's probably the most obnoxious part of it. The cost of this is fairly minimal. Check your owner's manual for the change interval. The dirtier the environment, the more aggressive you drive, the more frequently you'll need to do this. And this is just a very simple job. If you've got this up on jack stands, I'd recommend doing a few other services at the same time and not just doing this by itself. You might as well do the front differential, the rear differential, do a tire rotation or something else just to take full advantage of the time that you've got the car up on the jack stands and off the road. So if you found this video useful, click the thumbs up below. Click subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'll put a few links below to the Auto Trak II fluid where you can find that on Amazon, as well as a hand pump. And have a great day, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye.